So after checking into our hotel up the street here, we had a nice little lunch at a Brazilian buffet barbecue place, really tasty. And we're gonna follow the street down here to visit the palace of Dom Pedro. So intermingled amongst the many, many types of architecture they have from the, here's an original post office, telegraph office. Beautiful, beautiful building. Then of course they have some new high-rise buildings. So interesting, and it's so fresh here. I just love it that the weather is so perfect for walking. It must be about 70 degrees right now in the sunshine. In the shade a bit cooler. Funny to see Brazilians bundled up in jackets and hoodies. So here's a grand hotel, Grande Hotel. And an obelisk. And what else they have in here in the park? So a monument to the heroes of World War II, the Brazilians that gave their life. And it says, yeah, 200 men from this city died in World War II. So there's a German style house across the street there, and some Art Deco building. I love Art Deco, more modern, very nice. And here is the palace grounds. So we're going to try and see the palace. All right, we're here at the entrance, Museo Imperial. Okay, this way to the palace. Get our ticket. So this was the summer palace that the Emperor Dom Pedro built to escape the oppressive heat of summer in Rio de Janeiro. There he is, Dom Pedro. So up here at this elevation, it was much cooler, refreshing. Very lovely garden. Almost there. Okay, here it is. Beautiful pink palace. We're gonna go get our ticket and then go inside. So luckily they have an English display of the Imperial Museum was built by Emperor Dom Pedro II between 1845 and 1862 with his own resources. He was a very rich man. La 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 la, and then they made it into a museum, and they have a gift shop, so we're gonna see the gift shop at the end of the tour. And here's a photograph of Dom Pedro blown up from 1885. So we have our ticket, and because in Brazil, if you're 60 and over, you get half price. So that's a good thing. Half price ticket. All right, I'm very excited to see the interior of this beautiful palace in Brazil. Okay. So there's the entrance, and we're gonna go inside. Well, it's a bummer that they don't allow video cameras inside the museum, so I'll try to see if I can take a photo and add it to the video, but I guess, you know, again, they make money selling videos of the interiors. So anyway, we gotta go check our camera in a locker and then go back in without the camera. Well, it was impressive. It is just spectacular. Everything original inside the palace. Sadly, no video or photos are allowed, and they don't even sell like a video you can buy. So the only way to see it is to come here to Petropolis and see it for yourself. It's an amazing, amazing, amazing place. The history of Brazil, very rich. But we're gonna go walk around the garden, around the house. Reminds me of La Scala. Families. Today's Corpus Christi, so it's a holiday in Brazil. So many people are not working today, and they're just enjoying a beautiful day out. Again, the air is so fresh and clean up here. It's nice. And here's a family portrait. It says the last portrait of the imperial family here in Petropolis in 1889. Oh, they have a little theater. Huh, I wonder what they show there. Very, very nice. Huh. So they do allow a photo here of the carriage house of the royal carriage. Beautiful. And then some regular carriages. So they used to have people, I guess, carry these litters before they had the horse-drawn. And there she is, the Leopoldina. So he had a special railroad built from Rio de Janeiro up here to the Summer Palace. And it used to run until they disassembled it. So from the nice carriage to the human transport. They used to carry people in that thing. Wow. All right, well, this kind of wraps up our visit here to the Imperial Summer Palace in Petropolis. So, as we say goodbye to the palace grounds, there is here the outlay of the imperial family and how they descended. Very interesting. So, from Portugal, Dom João, and then the next, his son, the first emperor of Brazil, Dom Pedro, and he married Leopoldina of Austria, and then they had the son Dom Pedro II, and she married Teresa Cristina, and then they had children, but Brazil became independent and no longer had an emperor, but they lived on until the last one, 1942. So because of the holiday, they have the street blocked off, and the tradition from Europe is they do these flower petal decorations for Corpus Christi. So we're gonna check out the decorations here as we head our way to the cathedral. So it's not a good day to ride the bus. You're stuck in traffic. All these lovely old houses of the rich people who want to be close to the emperor. Okay, here they are making. First they put down the dirt. Very interesting tradition here. That's sawdust. Okay, colored sawdust. And there's the cathedral. So tonight they're going to have a procession at 7 p.m. So we'll come back and watch the procession along the street. Maybe, I guess they're going to have candles. We'll see if they have candles. There's another charming house. Wow. And there's that German architecture again. There we are, Corpus Christi. Okay, there's the cathedral. And they're flying the papal flag. Impressive.
Os tapetes, né? Tá na hora da procissão.
Wow, they've been working all day on this. It's gonna be beautiful. Wow, look at all the people. Oh my God. That's amazing. And the canal, the water. There's Dom Pedro. So here's the crypt of Dom Pedro and the royal family, imperial family. So today we're taking the beer tour of one of Brazil's most famous breweries here in Petropolis. It's the Bohemia Brewery. Because of all the German immigrants who came, we love beer. We have been restored the essence of the Cerveja Bohemia for 150 years. Wow. Bohemia. So here's the tour, and we're gonna buy a ticket. So they tell the history of beer, the different kinds of beers, the ingredients, how they make beer, and I think they give you a taste.
Iniciar o passeio aqui no primeiro andar, se quiser, só lembrando que não de idade não provar em nenhum momento do passeio.
Hi, do you speak English? Oh, so what type of beer is this one?
This is a traditional beer. The Bohemia Puro Malte is the original Pilsner or American Lager. Okay.
Well, Pilsner and lager are two different things.
No, nowadays it's more
Lager.
an American Lager.
Lager,
American
okay.
Lager. It's not exactly a
Yeah,
Pilsner,
Pilsner,
but,
yeah.
In the origin, the name was Pilsner.
Yes, yeah. The Germans, they love Pilsner.
Yes, yes, it's only the name here. Bohemia Puro Malte is an American Lager, 5% graduation, and this version is made only here in our factory.
Okay. Okay, well,
Excuse me.
let me taste
This
it.
ticket you need to show in the store.
Yes.
Exit to pick your last beer.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Pode sim, pode degustar no primeiro andar, tá, gente? Bom passeio. Cheers.
Cheers.
This glass is for you.
Saúde, não? Saúde.
The glass is a gift for you. Okay.
All right. And tasty too. Okay, history of beer. Tour starts here.
Enquanto era disputado nos castelos, a cerveja unia o povo desta terra, onde todo mundo se encontrava para trocar ideias.
So we know beer is very old.
A cerveja conquistou apreciadamente algumas regiões distantes.
Sumerians were the first ones. Sumerian beer, fermented. Mesopotamia. Very cool replicas. Yeah. Look at that. They really went all out on museum quality copies. Amazing. So here's in English. Hamabulari Code. How to make beer. Babylonia. Roman. Kash, Egypt. Walk like an Egyptian. Make beer like an Egyptian. Scooping. So the Middle Ages. So of course they get to Central Europe and they had all the hops. And Germans really knew how to make beer. Look at that. They had the machinery, technology, mass production of beer, and then they brought it to the New World on ships. They knew how to bottle it. And there you go, a beer factory. And then beer in Brazil. So wherever the Germans went, came the beer. So here are some of the old machineries of the beer production and old advertisements. Antarctica, they still make today. Oh look, it was a Jewish company. How cool is that? Wow. Had no idea. So beer culture, here we are. All the gold medals they've won for making their beer. The old beer factory here. The old bottles. Very cool. Mosaics. And there's the Star of David again. So Jewish German immigrants, we have to thank them a lot for bringing beer to Brazil. Okay, we're going up a floor to the next level of this museum, which represents the ingredients that make beer. Okay, here we are. So we know that pure water, malt, hops, and I don't know what these other things are. Water, malt, and hops. Okay, so you have to have clean, fresh water. Very important to have the water is good quality. And then you have your malt. And you can see, oh, look at that. You can even touch it if you want. I don't know about touching it, but the different grains to make beer. And most important, the hops. Now, the hops give the quality to the beer, and which why I love the Czech beer so much, because the Czech Republic, Czechia, they grow the best hops in the world, in my opinion. And that's what Czech beer is so special, is the Czech, the way they grow the hops. But Bavaria is on the border, so Bavarian beer is also very, very good. So there you go, there's the hops you can touch. So the three important ingredients. Oh, so now this is the fermentation process. The fermentation process is important, and depending, again, the yeast that you use will give the flavor of the beer. The fermentation process. I like how it's very interactive. Now they have telescopes you can look at and watch the bacteria growing in the yeast. Very cool. It's so educational. If you didn't know anything about beer, you will now. So, to continue the visit, we now go down the stairs. And get a little view of the city out there. So now they're going to show how it's brewed. So there you go. There are the vats that brew the beer. I remember as a kid we went to the Budweiser Busch Gardens in Van Nuys, California, and they had a tramway that went through the factory, and you saw this kind of vats, but I think even larger, brewing the beer. And my grandfather, he really enjoyed the beer tasting afterwards. Very cool. So it's really a science of making quality beer. So it says next stop is this way. After we get to check it all out. Here we go. Watch your head. Okay, now we have barrels. Now, the old beer in the barrel, which I don't think anybody does anymore, wooden barrels. Anyway, how it used to be. Watch your step. And this is how it is now, stainless steel. Dry hopping. So, all this technology to mass produce beer. And refrigerating, keeping it nice and cool. So here's a diagram from growing the hops, processing them, drying them, storing them, then mixing it up with the water all the way till you get to the factory where it's bottled, packaged, and served, which is right here, our next beer station. Hi! I'm sorry, no fala muito português.
No speak. Okay. So.
Now, I think we're getting Weiss beer. Yeah? Weiss?
Yes.
Weiss, okay. All right. Look at that beautiful color. Wow. Amazing. Fresh. It's so fresh.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the Bavarians, they love this beer in summer because when it's hot, this is the most refreshing beer to drink. And it's not so strong. So again, Weiss beer is the summer beer in Germany. And I think it's more popular, no? Muito popular aqui in Brazil?
Sim.
Yeah. So, jawohl.
Yeah.
Okay, this new section is to educate Brazilians on the many different types of beers that are available, because most they know lager, but for the Belgian lambic and the ales. So there's a lot to learn about beer around the world. So we have American lager, which we know very well, which most Brazilians, they know very well. And then the German Messner, München Hellness, Wiener Lager, Amber Lager. And then we get into the Belgian beers, which are so many. Pale Ale, IPA, and here we go, the Hefeweizen, and the Belgian Witbier. All right, well, here's a chart. So many beers. So what would you choose? Lager, ale, or lambic? And as we exit the building, there's a very nice sign of how we say Saúde, Prost, Cheers, Skål, whatever you want to say. Drink your beer in peace. Okay, we're almost at the end of our tour, and here they're showing how they are experimenting Innovation Center and working to innovate and create better and better beer. And it is very fascinating. Microbrewery. So we're almost done with this. We get one more tasting. Very well done tour. I really like this. And here we are. So we have Bar Bohemia, Restaurant Bohemia, Loja, okay. And here we are in the shop for our final tasting. Entrada. Oh. And here we are. Look at the. Oh. How cool is this? So these beers you can only buy here at the factory. They don't sell anywhere else, the specialty beers in Brazil. So supposedly this Imperial is very good. And it's a big bottle for only $4. Well, a little over $4. Wow. What? Beer t-shirts. And you have Budweiser. What's this Budweiser? Oh, Budweiser ketchup, Budweiser Mosava. Oh my gosh. And you have specialty Petropolis, some sauce, I don't know, hot sauce. Okay, well, anyway, it's been a fun beer tour. Signing off. Okay, I stumbled across a German restaurant. And they're playing German Schlagermusik. Restaurant Schrader. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Fala alemão? Não. My comida alemão. Okay.
Quer dar uma olhadinha no cardápio?
Sim. Schnapps. Look, they have schnapps. Ooh. So this area of the town, they're gonna have this Bauernfest, a German festival, in 3 weeks. But I won't be here. Anyway, it's very interesting. And the last site for today is the Crystal Palais. It's not as big as the original one in London or in Paris, but it is beautiful. And we're gonna go inside and take a look. So it's so nice, these houses. And this one, oh my God, it's such a charming little house. So, Palacio de Cristal, Crystal Palace. So, benvenido a Crystal Palace. So I can imagine what the original London Crystal Palace might have been. Huge, but this is tiny comparison, but it's so charming. I love it. And they have the Bauernfest ready. Bauernfest, wow. Hi. Okay, this is the Crystal Palace on a mini scale compared to Paris and London, but it is beautiful. And they have beautiful tile. Wow. And the acoustics. Wow. Yes. So I was told they had concerts a few years ago, but the city has no more money to stage any concerts here on the stage. Very sad, because the acoustics would be great. Amazing.